The Oval Office recently hosted a charged encounter between U.S. President Donald Trump and South African President Cyril Ramaphosa. The agenda was to bolster strained relations, focusing on trade agreements. However, Trump confronted Ramaphosa with allegations of a targeted white genocide against South African farmers. Trump presented a video showcasing alleged racially motivated violence, including inflammatory chants and images of white crosses. The implication was clear: a vulnerable minority was under siege, and the South African government was either complicit or indifferent. The atmosphere was undeniably fiery, with Trump convinced by the narrative of racial persecution. This focus on white farmers raised questions about the broader context of crime and violence in South Africa. Prior to this meeting, Trump had already cut U.S. aid to South Africa and granted refugee status to some white farmers. These actions signaled a U.S. policy shift influenced by the white genocide narrative. The subsequent Oval Office discussion was critical for addressing these concerns. President Ramaphosa maintained his composure, firmly pushing back against the white genocide narrative. He emphasized that crime affects all racial and demographic lines in South Africa. Ramaphosa explained that inflammatory chants do not reflect government policy or the sentiments of most South Africans. He pointed out that the majority of violent crime victims are black South Africans. Independent experts and even conservative white Afrikaner groups have debunked the white genocide claims. The white crosses were part of a protest memorial for all victims of farm attacks, not just white farmers. This misrepresentation fueled the misleading narrative Trump championed. South Africa's Supreme Court ruled that the "Shoot the Boer" song did not legally constitute hate speech. Ramaphosa conveyed that isolated elements do not equate to a state-orchestrated campaign of ethnic cleansing. To understand the situation, one must look at the broader context of crime in South Africa. The country grapples with high rates of violent crime, a legacy of socio-economic inequalities. Approximately 75 people are killed daily, mostly black and from impoverished communities. Focusing solely on farm murders ignores this wider reality. In 2024, South Africa recorded 6,953 murders, with only 12 during farm attacks. These deaths affected individuals of different racial backgrounds. The debate around violence is intertwined with the emotive issue of land ownership. White farmers, about 7% of the population, own a large share of farmland. The Expropriation Act 2024, allowing land seizure without compensation, adds complexity to this discourse. Influential figures like Elon Musk have voiced concerns, swaying public opinion and complicating diplomatic efforts.